Olabode, what should we do now? What's the way forward?
I think we need to strengthen the process and the systems. I think it's important to note, very, very important to note, I mean, even to you will confirm as an economist, is that the first way to process improvement is to improve the process. NNPC is a system, it's not a human being. I mean, and there will probably be a new change of management as soon as the new administration comes in. But the people who are going to be in the new management are going to be from the system. They're not going to be from outside the system. And the same runs from the CBN to the General's office and everywhere. And we can keep changing people till kingdom come. Mm-hmm. But the very first thing is that we need to strengthen the system and to make sure it is a system that works and a system that encourages effectiveness. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing that needs to come out of it. The rest will come and fall into place.
Okay. Now, Tunji, would you therefore, on the basis of what you have seen in this report, would you agree with the clamor for NNPC to be audited regularly, like all normal companies are?
Of course.
I mean, we know exactly what's going on.
I was one of the people who was screaming that we needed to see the audit report. Immediately it was done. It was an executive summary that was given to people, and it seemed like everything was all right. We just, it's not 20 billion, it's 1.4. And I was like, let's see the details of this audit report, because I knew that it's very difficult to hide details in an audit report. And I think one of the key factor is that we need to pass the PIB, because the PIB breaks up the NNPC. One of the things you see in that report is also, it says that NNPC has a lot of loss-making subsidiaries, which if the PIB is passed, they will be broken up and those subsidiaries will be on their own and made to raise revenue for themselves and be more efficient. And that's what the PIB basically does, creates efficiency within the system. So I think that basically is it. We need to stop giving the NNPC, because what the NNPC is saying is that since we're the umbrella corporation, we need to spend to fix this, we need to spend for pipelines, which of course is another cost, which didn't have any breakdown. We need to spend for this, we need to spend for that. But if it's broken down into smaller units, it's easier to be able to put the magnifying glass on each and every. But going forward, I think this audit report should be consistent, should be more frequent, and it should be published as soon as it's done.
Can I say something about that PIB? I mean, that should be my field. You know, first and foremost, simply because an organization is smaller does not mean it's more transparent.
True.
Simply because an organization is smaller does not even mean it's more effective. Having said that, NNPC has some subsidiaries which, because of the nature of the development of the industry, will not be as profit-making as others. Let's give an example. There's NIPEX. NIPEX is the Nigerian Petroleum Exchange, which is an exchange which is supposed to warehouse and showcase all contracts that are above $200,000, and where Nigerians or Nigerian companies are supposed to have kind of like, technically speaking, right of first refusal. And a few others that are like that. When you drive everybody to the state where there must always be profit, one of the things you lose is the developmental aspect of the job. Because you see, in every industry, there's development before there's profit. We are not yet experts, either in terms of research and development, or in terms of the technical expertise. That's we as Nigerians. We still need to borrow a lot of things. Even the effective Nigerians who are profitable, they hang on technical partnerships. And that's the reality of it.
Yeah, but Olabode, take for instance a government concern. If you know that there's head office in quotes, but you don't have to make any money this month, your salaries are going to be paid, your expenses are going to be taken care of. Why should I bother? Why should I push myself to make any profit?
They're called the civil service. Sorry. Everywhere in this world, including the US, the civil service primary purpose is not to make profit.
Yeah, but
it is not private sector.
Are there to make money. They're not government institutions per se.
Maybe we need to check.
Maybe
we need to check the act. That because NNPC is also a regulator. Yes.
Wait,
and a regulator cannot be there to make profit.
No, the subsidiaries. Some of them.
Some of them, yes. I mean, definitely.
Are private companies.
No, definitely.
Yes. So
Are you saying those companies that are private
Question
companies
is-
are
That's what
running
he was
out of
talking
money?
about.
No. He said some of the subsidiaries. He didn't say those.
Some subsidiaries,
like
irrespective
NPDC.
of what they do,
Okay.
irrespective of what they do, if they are smaller and more efficiently run, they would at least break
would make-
even. That's the point.
That's an assumption. You see,
Are you
You see,
afraid? Are you worried that if the PIB should go,
yes.
this company is broken down, may not be run efficiently?
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's far from it. Whether they are broken down or they are not broken down, it's neither here nor there. But it is what I call is a fallacy of hasty generalization to assume that once they are broken down, they become more profitable. It is better
Profitable,
to
no, please define profitable here.
or-
Is it profitable here meaning more efficient or making more money? Which one?
both. You see, there are issues, both industry issues, both technical issues that hinder things. Now, the PIB has not been passed. It's more than 4 years. It's enough to just say, why is it not passed? Why is it not passed? That is not an issue of the executive. That's an issue of the legislation. Has anybody ever bothered to find out what the issues are behind the scenes?
I have.
So,
Okay,
to your mind,
I have.
would the PIB help in this matter we're looking at now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you would clamor for the PIB to be passed?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely. What I have also said, what I've said is that, you see, one of the reasons why the PIB is having issues is that there are aspects of the PIB issues that are contentious to different stakeholders. There are areas of the PIB where the international oil companies have big issues on, and which they have mobilized and lobbied as far as Washington, up to Nigerian National Assembly, to hinder it. There are areas where NNPC, as a stakeholder, has issues. There are areas where market. So there are certain contentious issues here and there, which is why the PIB has not been passed. There is a school of thought that the PIB should be passed in discrete terms. In other words, part of it passed. But there is also people who believe that once a certain aspect is passed, especially the aspect that has to do with Nigerians and local entrepreneurs, the significant part of the other issues will not be passed, which is where the real industry development, not just individual development, comes in. So these issues are issues that need to be looked into. So the fact that we're going to break NNPC down break it down so that more people can see what's happening does not necessarily mean things will be more effective. There are, at a time,
why do you think so?
I'll give you an example.
I'll give you an
example. I've worked with 4 multinational companies, so I have an idea of how much big companies can run. There was a time ExxonMobil broke down into Exxon and Mobil, and they had to also come back. There is certain advantages that comes with scale, and there are certain advantages that come with small size. The issue is that the oil industry, which effectively is a global industry, will it benefit from smaller companies or will it benefit from global companies? Will our companies, our institutions be more effective as smaller companies dealing with the likes of Global Shell, dealing with the likes of Global Mobile, dealing with the likes of Petrobras? Would they be more effective that way? It is not enough for us to just say we want to stick our hand there and want to determine. At the end of the day, it's not a local industry. It's not going to be effective by what they do locally. They're going to be effective by how they play globally.
Okay. We've got to go now. We've got to go where we have to wind down now. Did you want to ask a question?
I wanted to say, okay, going forward, the PwC report is here. How do we move forward? Tunji, then we'll end with
That's your last word.
I think basically we need to redo this audit and properly pursue the terms of what it should be. Open the details. I mean, we're not really pushing. Let's know what it is. Let's know in real details what it is, and we can move forward after that.
Thank you.
Okay. The PwC is a report by PwC, a global audit firm. They've come up with what it is. It should be sent to the Office of the Accountant General, where I believe where it is, and the right steps should be taken. If there are people that are found wanting, they should be investigated, and where prosecution should be made, it should be made.
Right,
we do not need
you.
to spend all
We
the
have to
time
go.
reinventing the wheel.
Thank you very much. We have been chatting with Tunji Andrews, an economist, as well as Olabode Shomi, an energy consultant. Thank you very much for coming to look at the PwC report with us this morning. So that is Sunrise for today. If you've enjoyed it, let's do it again next Saturday. I'm Alera Edu, wishing you a happy weekend.
And I'm Nel Taibe.